You're not allowed at my house. Don't come to my home.
I won't. Look how you act. To pay $1,000 a month for a child that I haven't seen in 5 years up until 3 months ago is outrageous.
We are here in a suit for modification of support order and to confirm support of rearage. If I could state the terms of a proposed order and then take testimony from the parties.
You may.
So firstly, Judge, the state is not sending its request for any judgments to be taken on arrears as there are none currently owed. Mr. Fantroy would be ordered to apply for or maintain the child on private health and private dental insurance, which is available to him through his employer. And then he would be ordered to pay a proposed guideline child support amount of $1,133 per month beginning December 1st. Court costs would be as billed to Mr. Fantroy, and Ms. Wells is requesting a finding of non-disclosure. That's the extent of the order. If I may call the parties.
You may.
I'll call the father. Sir, would you please state your full name?
Barry Lance Fantroy.
And you are currently employed and carrying the child on the health and dental insurance through your employer, correct?
I am.
Okay. Now you have been working at this current job since late March. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Today's hearing opens with tension already boiling over. Before the judge even speaks, both parents are firing off warnings, drawing an invisible line between two lives that used to overlap and now collide only in court. The state then lays out the proposed order: no arrears, mandatory insurance, and the child support jump to $1,133 based on current earnings. Dad doesn't flinch at first, but you can sense the pressure rising. The courtroom tone shifts instantly from personal frustration to legal precision, and everyone prepares for a battle over numbers, credibility, and the truth behind their financial story.
And you have provided me with your most recent pay stub showing your year-to-date wages at that employer, correct?
That is correct.
And you understand that I've taken your year-to-date wages and averaged them out to a monthly amount to give the proposed guideline child support amount. Is that correct?
That isn't correct, because last court hearing, I was told that you were going off of second quarter's earnings, and that if I told you that my hours changed, and you said that we would go off of third quarter's earnings. Since I presented the third quarter's earnings, and it's only 40 hours a week, as opposed to the 84 hours a week that I was working in the second quarter, I am only making $4,000 a month take home, as opposed to $8,500 plus per diem and everything else in the second quarter.
Mr.
Also,
Pamela, my question is, do you understand that the proposed amount is based on your average wages since you began working at that employer? I'm only asking if you understand where the proposed.
I understand that now, but that wasn't the conversation the first time. But go ahead.
All right. So you are requesting that the court order something different than the proposed amount based on the fact that your hours have changed at your employer since you began working there. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay. When you began working there, how many hours a week were you working?
84 hours a week, plus I was getting $120 a day per diem because I was working as a traveler.
All right, guys. Here's where the father takes a stand. His name, Barry Lance Fantroy. Employed, insured, and fully aware that his pay stubs tell a very different story than the life he says is living. The state confirms he's been at this job since March, and his year-to-date wages have already shaped the proposed support amount. But Barry pushes back, insisting the court promise to base support on third quarter hours, not earlier inflated overtime. He explains that his income dropped from massive 84-hour weeks to a standard 40-hour load, and he wants support calculated on what he earns now.
Okay. And when did that change?
That changed in late July.
Okay. And what were your hours changed to at that time?
I am now working 40 hours a week and have been since July.
Okay. How many?
And I'm not getting per diem.
How much are you paid per hour currently?
$38 an hour.
Okay. Is there the possibility that you would go back to working more hours than 40 hours per week?
There's absolutely not, because I've been in this industry for 8 years, and every year from November to January, there's little to no work. So I'm currently filing unemployment because I'm not at work. So I'm only realistically working 7 to 8 months out of the year in the industry that I'm in.
My question was, is it possible that you might travel again in the future with this employer?
There's no possibility for the rest of this quarter. No.
I'm not just asking.
Into next year, yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other source of income?
No.
Is there any other clarification you'd like to provide to the judge about why you're making this request for the child support to be lower?
As I mentioned, my second and third quarter earnings are different. I just started this employer in March, which would be half of the first quarter. Also, with that being said, again, I'm not making per diem. I'm not working 84 hours a week. I am currently not even working right now as of last week. With that being said, I've been going through this process for modifications for the last 10 years with Jessica.
All right, guys. Now the father digs deeper. He breaks down the dramatic shift in his schedule. Once earning $8,500 a month plus per diem as a traveling worker, now down to a clean $38 an hour with no overtime and no travel perks. He insists the change isn't temporary. This industry slows to a crawl from November to January. He's already on unemployment, trying to fill the gaps. He tells the court he only works 7 to 8 months a year, and the judge presses him on whether travel could return. His answer, not anytime soon, is trying to convince the court that the proposed number simply doesn't match his new reality.
And this, over that time, of course, I was making a different hourly wage, but there was a reason it's been denied for the last 10 years because of the wages and because of the pay. We're talking going from $30,000 and $40,000 a year to making 60 to 70 just this year. And now I don't have an income for the rest of the fourth quarter, right? So with that being said, $4,000 a month income, plus I have $5,200 worth of bills to pay $1,000 a month for a child that I haven't seen in 5 years up until 3 months ago is outrageous. On top of that, I, again, have not seen my child for 5 years before that. I moved to Texas in order to get possession of or custody of my daughter, and I'm still not able to see her. And I live in close proximity of Mrs. Wells. It's extortion. I have to pay for visits. I have to pay for time. And these are cash payments. And that's crazy. But for me to be requested to pay $1,000 a month for my child, and I can't even afford to get an attorney to take Mrs. Wells to court to get custody of my daughter, that's crazy.
You know how much you're currently ordered to pay in child support each month?
Yeah, I am. $98 a month, which I don't agree with, but $1,000 is crazy from 98.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, you may call your next witness.
I will call Miss Wells. Ma'am, would you please state your full name?
Jessica Wells.
Did you hear the terms of the proposed order stated to the court?
Yes, sir.
You understand those terms?
Yes, sir.
And would you be in agreement with those terms being entered by the court today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any personal knowledge as to Mr. Fantroy's income?
Yes.
How?
Just what he tells my child.
Anything else? Any other way that you have any knowledge about his income?
No, sir. Just word of mouth.
You are asking that the court make a finding of non-disclosure so that your address and other identifying information are not included in today's order. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And I'm also asking that he give us the medical insurance card, please.
You already have it.
Has there been any family violence between you and Mr. Fantroy in the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years, no, but I would like to request that he does not have my address or phone number due to previous safety concerns in Nebraska.
All right, guys. Here the emotional weight arrives. Barry reveals he's been fighting for modifications for a decade. 10 years of hearings, denials, and inconsistent income. He explains how his earnings have swung from $30-40K years to a recent $60-70K year. But now he's sitting with no fourth quarter income at all. Then the heart of his frustration lands. He's being asked to pay over $1,000 a month for a daughter he barely sees. He calls the system extortion, saying he even has to pay for supervised visits. His voice shifts from defensive to exhausted.
Has Mr. Fantroy ever been arrested for domestic violence towards you or the child?
No, sir.
Then why is it that you have a safety concern and are making this request?
We have a previous history of threats, harassment, verbal, physical abuse. He's also stolen from me out of my home and my daughter. He's very verbally and abusive. I mean, you kind of get a preview of it now, how he's acting. But if you guys weren't around or if we was in the same room, he's extremely disrespectful. He's violent. He has been violent. The reason we're in Texas is to get away from him. He has moved here in an attempt to try to get around Nyla, and I have taken her to see him before, and he has stood her up. The second time, I took her to see him.
Miss Wells, I'm only asking about the reason you don't want your address included.
Okay, for safety concerns, he's dangerous.
Okay.
And I fear for my safety if he knew where we lived.
All right. Now you are requesting that he provide you the documents needed for you to use the health insurance that he's carrying for the child. How would you propose that he provide those to you in the alternative?
I have provided him a P.O. box address. I can give that address again. I've asked that he mail the card to the P.O. box. I can show you what he has given my daughter, him and her text. So he has texted her something that.
No, ma'am, I'm just asking where he could send that information.
Okay, sorry.
All right, Judge, I'll pass the witness and ask for a ruling on the child support and the non-disclosure.
Miss Wells, when you say he's dangerous, what does that mean?
Okay.
What has he done?
Now it's Mom's turn, Jessica Wells. Calm, composed, but firm. She agrees with the proposed order entirely. When asked about his income, she says she only knows what he tells their daughter or what spreads through word of mouth. She requests non-disclosure, wanting her address and personal information sealed due to past safety concerns. Then the accusations emerge: past abuse, threats, harassment, theft, and a long history of volatility. She says moving states was a safety decision. She paints the father as unpredictable and dangerous, even though there are no recent arrests.
Since he's been in Texas, that's dangerous.
Well, nothing, since he does not know where I live or does not have a way to contact me. But
Okay, so when was the last time he did something dangerous?
2015, 16.
Okay, and what did he do then?
We got in a physical altercation. He put his hands on me and choked me in my home.
Okay.
And no, I did not call the
And were
police.
the police called?
No, ma'am.
And did you have to seek medical attention?
I did not. I just stayed away from him. He already does not help me raise her, support her. So it was very easy to just distance myself from him. He doesn't help with anything.
You say he doesn't help with anything, but sounds to me like you don't want him around her. So when you say you took her to visit him, where did you take her to visit him?
Okay, so I have some text messages.
Ma'am, I didn't ask you about text messages. Where did you take her to visit him?
So they had agreed that she was to meet him at a hotel in Dallas on the weekend of June 8th. And this place was not close to me. It was about 40 minutes away. So we drove down there. When we got off the interstate, I said, hey, call your dad and your brother, let them know you're here. And at which time they answered the phone and said, oh, we're not there. We're at North Park. Come to North Park. North Park was on the whole other side of Dallas. They weren't where they just told her they were going to be after she told them she was on their way. And it's not that I don't want her around him. He does not have a consistent relationship with her. He currently has her blocked. She has tried to text him. He has her blocked for the past month since coming to.
Right. Okay. Thank you. How old is your daughter?
13.
Okay. So with a 13-year-old, you shouldn't have to have that much contact with her dad, because she should be able to talk to him. If he comes to your house to pick her up, you should be able to send her out the door, and she should get in the car with her dad and just go.
Correct.
Is she afraid of her dad?
No, I do not let her ride in the car with him because he's a gang member and he's been shot at in 2 states. And I refuse to let my daughter be around him for her safety. I don't want him getting shot at again and my child's in the car. And that's another reason he cannot come to my house. He's a gang member.
Okay.
And I don't want him bringing
Allegedly, he's a gang member.
Ma'am, it's
Did you
documented.
know that before you had a baby by him?
Unfortunately, I did.
Okay.
But Judge, I should probably clarify something here.
Yes.
This is a registration of an out-of-state order, and there is no visitation order for Mr. Fantroy in it. So I'm not, if that helps at all.
That does help.
And I should clarify, it doesn't say he doesn't have any visitation.
Yeah, I know you're saying it's just not a part of the child support order. Because in a lot of states, they don't put visitation in child support orders.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Fantroy, unmute yourself for me, please, sir.
All right, guys, this part turns real fast. When pressed by the judge, Jessica admits nothing dangerous has happened recently, because he doesn't know where she lives. But she describes a 2015 altercation, where she says he choked her during an argument. No police report, no medical visit, just distance afterward. The judge probes further, challenging inconsistencies, especially around visitation. Jessica claims their daughter doesn't ride with him because he's allegedly tied to gang activity and has been shot at before.